Is there tech games? I wish to tell a little about my prototype that I built for the second test task. Um, so first of all, I found typical games that suits to the such layout with maps and with um, resources and so on. And so the uh, patterns, layout patterns that players expect to see in the game. I think a little uh, about the tasks task elements itself because some of them create special how to say it create special and not environment but gameplay design. So I'll tell about it later. So I start to design this screen from the on the paper from the basic elements. I list all the elements that you asked me to locate on the screen, and also it helps to make these elements uh, modify them to make them more useful for the player and more helpful. For example, the uh, this energy is doesn't contain the timer in your description, and in fact, the energy resource that allow a player to make steps in the game. It often provided by some timer with every hour maybe or a few hours. So it will be helpful to a player to see when a player will receive a new energy unit, and as well as if the energy reached a maximum, there should be some message about that. For example, instead of timer, we display maximum board. Also, just a timer is not enough, and will be because it count down, so it goes back. The time is disappears, and it can be it can be perceived as the disappearing of the energy itself. So if a player will see 5 energy units and countdown timer, a player can think that the energy is spending with after this time will finished. So I made a positive progress bar that grows to show that that grows with timer itself, uh, and I think it helps to a player understand that this timer shows when the new energy unit will be added to a player. Also, I tried to put the value of each element to the icon itself to make it over icon to save some space, and because in other way there will be energy icon, then value, and then countdown timer. Or with experience example, there will be experience value, your current level, and then the progress bar of experience. So it saves some space and separate the information. Sometimes it's not possible to make such design, such layout. I don't think it's a problem, and it's possible for a player to see some numbers on over the icons and some values near the icon, like this one, this element. All right, I've listed all the elements here and made a couple of sketches because it's quite typical layout. I didn't have to draw a lot of versions of the screen. So I produced a couple of templates. I changed it slightly later, but it was enough to start to make a prototype directly in Action. In this layout, I decided that the settings button shouldn't be on the screen, and because it's not often when a player needs a settings screen and use settings, and probably a player can find these settings somewhere else, and it will be fine. It won't be extra annoying for player. It will be better to keep the playing screen clean as possible because it contains enough elements now, and it will be better to keep it clear as possible. In the first sketches, I thought that user pick will be here on the resources bar, but later I decided that it is social network oriented game, that's what I talking about. Some limitation or restrictions that your elements applied to the game design. So if we use, you asked me to draw a Facebook avatar, that means this is not offline or single player game, and that oriented to social connections. And that means we will compete with our friends, and we will beat their scores, or our friends will beat our scores, or we will play this game together and see their progress on this game. And that means that there will be not only our user pick on the board, on the map, but also there will be a user pick of our friends on the map, on each node. That can happen. Also, I decided that there should be a name of not only name, but I decided that there should be pagination with levels. I think the pagination helps to make a feeling of progress. That player start with some number of levels, 11 levels in my example, in the prototype, and when player finish it, he or she moved to another page with the new levels. So it creates feeling of progress instead of long and endless line of levels. that can be that you can find in some games, especially for mobiles. It will be great if you will see everything on one screen. So, if there will be a pagination, that means we should show the some navigation for that and explain where we are, and for to display that I decided that there will be great to show name of current stage, current level, and to show how many of them are left. The shop button I located also on this screen. To be honest, I display it on the both screens in this prototype. I position it located in the right bottom corner, and as well as the promotion icon I located near the shop button. Okay, let's see the prototype itself. The prototype starts from the desktop screen of a typical mobile phone. First of all, player sees his position on the map. I intentionally make this animation for the user pick because in the beginning player tries to understand the layout of the desktop and run with his eyes to the desktop, and later the animation of his user pick takes his attention to his place. Also, it helps to understand what to do next on the screen. It's the important requirement for the design, for the interaction design, to help a user or player understand what to do next. It will be much better if there will be missions of the current like daily missions, daily quests, and it also helps to a player make decision to what to do next. And then the second thing that the player sees, it's our special offer. As you saw, it fly out from the shop screen, so it's located near this icon. That's the second what player sees. The one more reason why the user pick is displayed on this road, because it's kind of an adventure game, and we because of the map. The map, it's one of the limitations that I said before. The map requires to message to a player that this is kind of adventure, and a player itself displayed on the screen with his user pick, or it will be some another character. Also, before player's experience bar and his level was displayed here in the resources bar, but later I decided to move it near to user pick to show the level directly on the player. It's hard to understand what for the progress bar, what for the experience bar and level itself here in this game. Maybe if I will know that it will be, I will be more confident where to place it and what for. But let's just imagine it's neat for some reasons, and I located it here on near the user pick. Also, it helps to when there will be one more player, we will see his layer, his level in the same place near the user pick. So it make kind of solidly UI layout. The finished cells, finished levels displayed with the rating stars and with finished style of icon. This is the available layer level, and there are other levels that is not available yet. But all of them looks clickable. I tried to display it with a shadow, so I didn't apply my graphic skills here. I just made fast actual stylization, but I tried to display that all of them are clickable because first of all, player needs to understand why they are not available. So when player decided to not click on this particular level, but this one, he will see a pop-up with the message that, for example, you can play this level because you need to reach 2 stars on the previous one. Or it will be possible, for example, I don't know. Depends on the game design. But they should be clickable. Also, he can probably buy access to this level. This screen can be, these maps can be listed. So if we will drag it vertically, we will see, the player will see recent levels, recent page of levels, and if we'll player list further, he will see logged page of the next levels. As I said, there is a resources bar with plus button, energy with timer, and in the end of the screen there is a shop button that located there for a few reasons. First of all, we start from the top and goes to the bottom, and there where the shop button is located, because it says I can help you to progress, I can help you to reach next levels. Buy me, open me, and you will find solutions there. Also, I tried to avoid locating icons in this map area because there is a lot of elements such as nodes and user pick of us or our friends, especially, and also stars rating. So there is kind of busy place, and there also will be some graphic, map graphics. So I tried to avoid noising this area with additional icons and put it out in the bottom bar where is actually navigation buttons will be located. So you can put another additional button, for example, of your friends or something like that. And why we start from the beginning, from the top, sorry, from the left top corner, because it's because of the pagination. In the endless or long way in other games, usually player starts from the bottom of the screen and grows up. That's understandable, that's kind of progress, but if it's pages, we always read them from the top to the bottom, except some nationalists. But mostly players read from the top, and that's why our tourney starts from the left bottom corner, left top corner. Sorry. Also, these icons, as you can see, are bigger than these icons. The plus button. I have to say that I shouldn't draw a huge icon to make it easy to press, because the icon graphic doesn't relate it from the active zone, press click zone. So click zone can be bigger or smaller than graphic, and in our case it can be bigger size, like this one, such size. It just will be invisible, and the graphic will be much lower than, much more smaller than this region. Also, this page doesn't have visible scrolling buttons or something like that. How player understands that this page actually can be listed? Well, first of all, we can show an animation when we list, like present all the tourney to the player from the last level to the first level. So it's kind of sliding through all the levels from this end to the beginning, and that's how we show. Also, when the player can reach last level, we can show animation that the level listed to the next one. So in the beginning, there is no necessary for a player to search for this navigation controls or something like that. There are another additional things that when a game exists a long time, developers make an additional packs or additional chapters for the game, and that's why important to show that these levels that players see now, it's not all the levels. We can open. I located the button with all the button where a player can see all the available chapters or chapters that a player can buy. Also, there are located a settings button. So I moved it from the home screen to the thumbs up screen. And the button that turns players back, located in the same place. So you can press this button in the one place, and you will switch the screens. Here our current chapter. It's called Legendary Island, and there are all our levels that a player complete or not complete or locked to see, but there are all of them, and here player can see that some players, some levels he missed. For example, this one at all on the layer a player can achieve, for example, 15 stars, 12 stars, and there we show that not all of them are reached, and we show it with the same stars, but in this time they are not express exact digit like 1, 2 or 3 point, but some more complex value like 3.5. And if the player finished all these levels or finished all the chapter, we can show him, or he will find it early, that there is one more chapter. We will present it with video, with huge and tasty image, and as well as with the buy button or some, I don't know, additional information that we can put here. So that's how we provide additional levels to our audience. That's it. That's all the things that I wanted to show. Oh, by the way, if we will, if there will be 2 players on one cell, we will make user picks smaller and still can show them together on the one place, and a player will be happy enough to see his friends in the game. That's it. Thanks for watching. We'll be glad to hear from you. Bye bye.